Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 6, and today we're dealing with the 1960 Porsche 718 RS60. So what is this car? Well, it's an open cockpit racing car that was built between 1957 and 1962, and it was revised over the years to not only be more competitive but also to meet new regulations that were coming in at the time. So yeah, I never really have heard of this car before, or at all really, if I'm honest, like a couple of other cars from the Porsche expansion. But I'm glad I did, because it's a cracking car, quite frankly, and one of those reasons for that is the engine, which as you can see is pretty small, but it certainly packs a punch. So yeah, despite its relatively small size at 1.6 litres and being a flat 4 engine, it has 160 horsepower and 120 pounds-feet of torque, which is quite a lot for such a small engine from 50 odd years ago. And couple that with the fact it only weighs 1,280 pounds, this is a cracking car in terms of straight line speed and acceleration. And not only that, thanks to the fact that it has a new, at the time it was new for the car, double wishbone rear suspension, it also handles brilliantly as well, which I guess should be no surprise considering the fact it's also coupled with lightness. And under here is the fuel tanks, as you can see. I don't know whether or not it was actually an issue at the time for the car, but I'm pretty sure if they started running out, the front would be a bit lighter than usual. But yeah, this was also a competitive racing car. It won 12 hours of Sebring, it won the Targa Florio, and it also successfully defended the European Hill Climb Championship for the third year in a row for Porsche. So yeah, successful on the track, and also, I'll say it now, I think it looks great, especially from the front. Not a massive fan of the rear end, though there was the later versions did improve that aspect, though it is a racing car, so can't really expect it to look great all the time. But racing cars from the 50s and 60s did look great, and this is easily one of the best. So yeah, let's take this out onto the track and see what it can do. Welcome everybody to Virginia International Raceway North Circuit. We're going to take this car around on the first lap and talk through it on the second lap. Just like to say sorry for the off on the first lap, but yeah, even though this car does handle brilliantly, it's not all that forgiving, to be honest. Despite the fact that it is mid-engined, unlike a lot of Porsches where they're usually rear-engined, it's still rear biased. 45% of the weight is at the front, so yeah, 55% still over the back, so it can be a bit twitchy at times and a bit unforgiving overall. But nonetheless, it's still handling sound is great overall, especially thanks to the fact that it weighs so little, and that also helps its acceleration. 0 to 60, 5 seconds, 0 to 100, 11.2, and to do 155 mile an hour, which is quick today, nevertheless 56 years ago. So yeah, no wonder this car won so many of its racing entries, which, despite the fact I'm clearly not as good as most people who would drive this car, just to show how good it is. Also sounds brilliant, and it kind of makes me sad for the Porsche lineup at the moment, because I'd really like Porsche to go back to the roots, quite frankly, and come back to something light and small, and not all that powerful, but due to its lightness can be still quick, along the lines of the Alfa Romeo 4C, for instance. Because I think Porsche, with their engineering prowess, could easily beat the likes of that Alfa, and also rekindle some of the lightweight, speedy spirit of the cars like this, and the 550 Spider, and the even the 356 Speedster. Just something lightweight and fun. It's exactly what I think Porsche could be doing with right now. And I don't think it would sully the brand either, even though they are now known for doing more luxury sports cars and SUVs and crossovers and saloons and etc. like that. But to me, Porsches were the image that Porsches conjure up to me back in the 60s, 50s, and even the 70s is lightweight, not all that much power, but fun and fast nonetheless. And this 718 is a perfect example of that. And it's a shame that Porsche aren't doing anything like this right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.